Hello, everyone. Welcome to our. Oh, Roll20 is a bit buggy, but that's okay. This is our first session of our Rapscallion game called Black Flag. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I am not going to be jamming this game. It is Deirdre's turn to GM, as we do normally on Saturdays here. But I'll just introduce my character real quick. We created them during our session 0 last week. I am, of course, playing the Swashbuckler, and my name is, for now I don't have a last name, but first name is Nathaniel, and I'll see about a last name over the course of the game. He goes by he, him pronouns. I also go by he, him pronouns. Let's go around the table, introduce the rest of the cast, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and which playbook have you chosen. I will begin with the person right above me on the overlay, and then we'll do counterclockwise. So we'll do Lindy first.
As me. Hi. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm Lindy, and I will be playing Josie or Josephine. Depends on if you're her friend or not. She is using the Matalo rulebook, playbook, and she's a pirate.
Next is Quentin.
Yeah, I'm thragging in chat and Twitter and stuff, and today I'm going to be playing Isaac Brown. He is the navigator, so sometimes the ship speaks to him. It's kind of weird, but you'll get into it.
Next up, Alyssa.
Yes, hi, it's me, Alyssa. I am taking the captain playbook, and I will be playing Captain Renata de Rochefort. She is I don't have a big hat, but I would just like you to imagine the fanciest possible pirate hat you can imagine.
And last but certainly not least, Shauna.
Hey, I'm playing Sirius, Shauna. And I'm playing Corinne Haley, the Montebank playbook. She is the creepy witch that's on the ship that some may like, some may not like to be there.
And to tell the story of the crew of the Salty Swallow, which is us, is playing the role of the Fates, is Deirdre. Hi.
Hey yo, hey all, welcome back. It's a Saturday. That means I get to be here and do wonderful fun things with my friends and possibly, plot their demise. It's fun. It's a pirate game, y'all. There should be fire and fun things that are going on. But I get to play everyone else in this game, and there are quite a few wonderful NPCs that we have been discussing. There will be more as they come up. What would be a pirate game without lots and lots of pirates? But we begin today, and we're going to start on the deck of the Salty Swallow. Oh, also, by the way, I should point out that there are panels down below that if you check out, you can help and or hinder our wonderful crew of the Swallow. You can give them aid or give me more things to challenge them with. But take a look, see what you think. It's wonderful things. But we will begin today with on the deck of the Salty Swallow. For those of you playing at home, the Swallow is a bark. It is not the largest vessel at sea, but it's one of the faster vessels. She measures a length of 170 feet, a width of 37 feet. She's not as high as like a man of war or a ship of the line, only 3 decks, 2 decks to the waterline. Only 50 guns in her complement at the moment. 3 tall masts, 2 main masts and 1 mizzen mast at the back. Full sail, she can reach a massive and impressive 8 knots, which is, for those playing at home, about 9.2 miles an hour. very impressive in the open water. Fast and maneuverable. She can have room for 125 crew, but at the moment, in addition to our PCs, there is only 50 crew complement at the moment to man the guns and board ships. She sails under a black flag, white sails in the wind, lines creaking, water spray. It's a pleasant day. No storm on the horizon yet. We start with, but we're going to pan around and we're going to start actually up at the helm, at the stern of the ship, with our navigator. What do we see, Quentin?
So Isaac is probably like in his mid-20s. He probably has a bandana on, no earrings. And he probably has like his sextant out, and he's like looking at the horizon with it and like jotting stuff down on pieces of paper. Probably like the open like pirate shirt on, the wind blowing through he has short hair, he keeps it short. Yeah, and that's what I have for Isaac right now.
As we slide the camera off the helm, and Isaac has the helm in one hand, tacking just slightly off the wind, sailing for Tortuga, which you hear a shout from the crow's nest that land is in sight. Means you're probably about another 35, 40 minutes from the island, depending on if the weather and the wind holds. We track down further on the deck, main deck, across the cargo hold to Shauna. What do we see? What is Corinne doing this morning?
Corinne is small, pale. She's about like 19 or 20, has her hair like tied up and kind of like halfway between looking okay and being messy. But right now she's probably by herself because most of the crew probably gives her a wide berth most of the time. And she has in charcoal scrawled some symbols onto the wall, onto the deck, and is just doing a small sacrifice to her demon.
What does this look like?
I think it's like there's probably like a candle somewhere. I'm guessing she probably managed to like get a seagull, and she's just kind of like dripping its blood over it, and she's just kind of like muttering, like not to others, probably some nonsensical words.
I mean, it's a seagull.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a lot of them.
And it's probably not great because you're not supposed to kill a seagull.
No. Seagulls are fine. The albatross you don't want to kill.
Mm-hmm.
The albatross is a lot bigger and a lot nicer. Seagulls are pigeons of the sea.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But with our wit, is witch an appropriate term? Is that the term Corinne desires?
It's what the crew calls her, and whether or not she declares otherwise, that's what they're gonna say. And far be it from her to correct them. It's what she does.
Alright. Then we pan further down the deck to a figure at the lines. Lindy, what have we got? What do we see? Who do we see?
I think Josephine is has just finished up with some tasks that they were assigned to do and are taking just a few minutes to themselves. They're probably munching on some hardtack, and they're holding a book. Looks like an ABC book, like a learn to read alphabet kind of book, and she's going over that. Well, I'm just kind of chewing this hardtack.
I love this. How well is Josephine doing with this hardtack?
Oh, with the hardtack,
well,
it's fine.
With the book, I should say.
She's got a lot of hardtack experience. With the book, she's on page 3. She's on C currently. She's had the book for a couple months. It's an ongoing struggle, but she's determined to get through all 26 pages of this book.
There's lots of respect for her determination.
Yeah.
What does there's a crew member who kind of spies you. What are their usual reactions to Josephine?
She looks pretty normal, so she's a little intimidating at times, though. She's pretty strong. She's got a lot of muscle to her. She works out. And she wears a lot of red because it hides the bloodstains. So some people are just kind of, neutral. Some people are positive. Some people kind of skirt away a little bit. Especially if she looks like she's really concentrating on something because they don't want to interrupt. This would probably be one of those times.
So as the camera pans away from just hand kind of glances over at you, notices that you're still on C, and and goes to almost try and help, and then looks at you and goes nope, and kind of scurries away slightly.
I can imagine she's got a very concentrating face, which almost looks like an angry face, but it's just how she concentrates because it's real hard.
And then we pan the camera up to the prow, up towards the bow of the ship, staring out, looking beyond just above the figurehead and the flag mast. What do we see, Simon? Who do we see?
Standing at the prow of the ship is a not quite tall, but very lanky individual with swept back black hair, stylish leather hat just like mine, and he is wearing a white open shirt like this, blue pants, a red sash that ties them together. And he's currently holding a dirty, small, pocket-sized mirror and trying to apply eyeliner around his eyes despite the movement of the waves, and just cursing whenever he draws a line instead. It's like, Isaac, couldn't you navigate better?
You've got to take it through the waves.
Isaac's 100 feet away from you. I don't know that he's hearing you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking to myself, muttering under my breath.
Muttering under your breath as you do your makeup and you hit that one jaunt just a little bit higher of a pitch. It shifts you just a little. Now, you've been at sea. You've all been at sea a long time. You are well stable in calm waters. You're perfectly fine. There's no change in pitch in your legs. Wonder what changes your hands then, if you're blaming the vessel. But as the camera pans away, comes back and kind of pulls back and into beyond the helm, into the navigator's room above the cabin for the captain, and who do we see seated at the desk plotting course or checking the plot of the course?
That would be Captain Renata. She's fairly tall and slender, which is kind of intimidating for a woman because she's rather on the tall side. She has, again, a fancy hat, but it's not probably as fancy as she would like it to be. But probably the more impressive thing on her is the very, very badass black leather coat with its, silver decorations and like actual real silver buttons that was politely and gently taken from a Spanish ship that we had raided not too long ago. She is just long dark hair, just bent over this map and looking at papers and trying to think what the next step is, and just kind of rubbing her temples a little bit like, oh Lord, where to?
Where to now is Tortuga.
Yes,
An
where to
island.
now is Tortuga, but where to after Tortuga? Are we, and in Tortuga where to? Because there is quite a lot of contraband on this ship, which is good, but we don't have a very big crew. We have a lot of things we need to take care of. We have a witch to deal with, and like, I'm fond of Corinne. I know most people are not. I would very much like to not cause trouble if we can. Not because I don't like trouble, but mostly because I don't want to upset the witch.
Yeah, but Tortuga is an island off Hispaniola. The island of Hispaniola being half Haiti and half the Dominican Republic. But it's a small island, home to a wonderful free port of Tortuga, where many a wise pirate sail in. Nominally a, shall we say, neutral party. Most of the official governments stay out of Tortuga, and most of the less savory, more illicit actions that take place on Tortuga are all in a very much an agreement of trying to keep. We like our free port. We don't want to lose our free port. If you're going to get into a fight with someone, it better be just a fight between individuals and not full on crew.
See, that's where her actual worry is. This is that. Are we going to be able to behave enough to, like, minimum damage and stay neutral, or are we? I'm not saying that my crew is full of firebrands and wild cards, but
When have I not behaved, Captain?
do you want the whole backlog of everything, or or is just the summary of the itemized list okay?
Ooh, what about me? I'm really well behaved.
I think Josephine is just sort of one of those things that Renata's just kind of like, she's here. Everything I know about her is not great, so I'm just going to be very nice. I think there is a sense of just, as much as Tortuga is a good place for pirates, it is also like a nerve-wracking place for Renata, because again, what if she runs into her rival?
Yeah, Jacques might show up. He does occasionally.
That's a big worry. That's a big worry.
He does occasionally sail into Tortuga. You know that, and you know that the last time you encountered him in Tortuga with a slightly negative. There was a drinking contest. You may have both been thrown out of a tavern, and you may or may not have had certain individuals in that tavern say not to come back.
Yeah, I can't recall if they said to come back or not. I don't think it was a very pleasant encounter, though.
I don't think it was a pleasant encounter either. But you hear the shout come down that harbor's in sight. You've got about 10, 15 minutes, depending, to pull your vessel in to dock. Do you stay staring at your map and worrying, or go and walk on deck and brace with your crew?
No, I brace with the crew. I may be a captain, but I know that it takes a lot of work. I'm going to, and if nothing else, doing the work will distract a worried mind. I'm going to get to work and bark out some orders and help with getting, all of the sails down and everything, and setting up the ship for docking. Ship stuff.
Ship stuff. Yeah, ship stuff. Sorry. You sail into Tortuga. It is a beautiful day. The island itself is quite pleasant. There you go. Why is it not?
I can hear music.
Yeah, good. Yep. There are a number of ships in port, but it's not full. There are definitely a number of berths, and in the harbor is plenty of space for you to lay anchor. The fun thing about having a vessel your size, you could pull it pretty far in and actually dock and not just weigh anchor in the harbor. The advantage of having a shallower draft, your draft is only about 5 meters. You're safe. Sorry, 15 feet. The draft being how much water you need to not skim a rock. You pull in. There are a number of vessels you recognize, a number of similar ships under the command of and sworn to the allegiance of Captain Peter Blood. Is there anyone looking for a particular ship? Anyone concerned about particular ships?
Well, obviously I'm concerned about Jack's ship, but is Peter Blood's ship actually here? Is he in Tortuga, or is he not here today?
Hold on, I just totally blanked on a moment. Yeah. Okay. What's the name of his ship? Oh, I haven't read the book. You know what? I'm going to do it because I want to do it, and you know what? I'm that person. No, you do not see the Revenge in port.
Oh, well, that's okay. But
nor do you see Jacques' ship, or the ship you saw him on last.
Who knows if another crew has ditched him to the wayside or marooned him somewhere as he deserved to be. Lord knows the world would be better off without him. But a little bummed that Captain Blood is not also here. It would be nice to connect, reminisce, the usual.
Reminisce, that's what they call it.
We're exceptionally close and good friends. What may or may not happen in the privacy of nighttime is between me and Captain Blood.
The entire crew rolls their eyes.
No one hears this. This is internal monologuing.
Yeah, but we see your face.
This is Dear Diary. I'm sorry that I am trying really hard to make our crew a favorite of Captain Blood's and his allegiance. I'm sorry that I'm working for our benefit.
As you begin to disembark, I'm assuming that you're going to leave you're going to leave your lackeys on the ship and let your actual crew, have some free time.
Of course.
As you begin to disembark your ship, Nathaniel would notice a figure standing kind of waiting at the edge of the dock. Young page boy wearing a very clean and almost pressed white shirt and brown breeches. His hair is done very neatly. And he seems to, when he sees you, he comes running up with an actual letter in hand to hand to you. And just kind of like hands it. He doesn't say anything. He's like absolutely silent, but he's riveted on you. He definitely seems to be of some sort of mixed race, but that's not uncommon, particularly here in Tortuga.
Who are you, boy?
He doesn't answer. He just kind of holds out the letter. It's a sealed letter.
I'll take it. I'll fling him a coin.
You see him snatch it from you and very quickly shift it through his hands and pocket it and just nods and runs off. You would recognize the seal immediately, Nathaniel.
Is it the guild?
It is a gilded steed.
Yay.
In gold wax, with a just very flourishing Nathaniel in almost bright blue ink. And then even smaller on the front of the letter, and others, kind of like added as an afterthought.
I'll open the letter.
Your Nathaniel, please make your addresses at the nearest possible convenience. I do so miss you, and I have acquired a certain object I think one of your associates might want to know about. Your loving mother, Patience.
Captain, if I may, we have an appointment.
Do we? Since when have you started making appointments for us, Nathaniel?
I haven't, really. Not that I would, I normally don't mix business and pleasure, and clearly this is a business call. But not that type of business.
All right, well, then let's make way. Let's go. I'll grab the others and just... I assume you know who else is invited on this?
Well, the letter says, and others. We could just show up with the whole crew if we wanted to, but I feel like the chapter house might not be big enough.
I have a feeling some of our crew would rather entertain themselves in other ways, so I trust you to find a couple of defendable folk, and I would perhaps round up Josephine and Corinne. I have my suspicions that perhaps it would be to our best interest to keep a close eye on the two of them.
Yes, I'll go get Josephine and Corin. And I was thinking maybe bringing Isaac along.
Ugh, fine. You sure he didn't stay with the ship to whisper sweet nothings at the mast again?
How long have we been out at sea?
I mean, you as a vessel could probably, well, you're only carrying 50 hands, plus you, if you're willing to sacrifice extra, like shot and cannon shot and fancy food, you could probably hold water barrels for about 2 months.
Yeah, as they're talking like with each other, like I'll just have like a satchel, like a sack with my some belongings in it. I'm like, shower to shave, Captain. Good day. They'll start climbing down off the ship.
No. Isaac.
Shocking.
Yes, Nathaniel.
We're going to the chapter house for some, business. But if you want to stay later for pleasure, there are baths aplenty in there.
Scratch my scraggly beard. Okay, I'll come along. Could be interesting.
Plus, I mean, you have your pick of whoever you want to, shave you.
Perfect.
Provided you can afford them. Shall we
When
then?
will we get paid for our ill-gotten goods, Captain?
You know the rules. No pray, no pay. Take the loot as you need it. Share
right.
and share alike. All right, off we go, shall we?
Yeah, I'll
So-
take my belongings with me.
Do Josephine and Corinne join you?
Ooh, I have to go get them.
I will go get Corinne if you go get Josephine.
Aye, Captain.
I will find a polite way to interrupt whatever Corinne is up to. And Corinne, Nathaniel has received some kind of invitation for a business opportunity, and I was wondering if you would care to join.
Oh, what business? Business or pleasure? Both for him?
It sounds like it's mostly business, but knowing Nathaniel, it could be both.
Hmm.
Perhaps there's both. I don't know.
Well, if you need my expertise, I did make substantial offerings so that our business may go smoothly. I have a feeling we might have needed it, so.
Oh, well, that's actually very encouraging.
Who else is joining us on this excursion?
Well, I've sent Nathaniel to grab Josephine, and Isaac is also coming.
You got him before he left the ship, correct? Seems, for someone that lives on the sea, seems rather possessed to get off land onto land.
Yeah, no, we grabbed him before he could run off. The promise of a shave and a bath seemed to be enough.
Oh, he still clings to that, does he?
Well, I suppose a young man must make his fortune where they will. And
Suppose. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time. I've wanted to look for more books. And if we do this job, maybe you'll have a little more money to get some.
Again, I remind this crew, I have made the loot available for everybody. Just take what you need.
Oh, no. For personal. What sort of attire should I be in? Should I like this or the fancy dress?
I don't think I've ever truly been in the chapter house. Perhaps the fancy dress would be fun?
Oh, good. Well, it's gonna take me a few minutes. I'll meet the party upstairs. I'm just gonna get ready.
We'll meet you on the docks.
I'll be there.
For player disclosure, you would know that when she says the chapter house, when Nathaniel says the chapter house, he's talking about the Gilded Steed, the largest and most high-end house of negotiable pleasures in Tortuga. The kind of place, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Oh,
absolutely the fancy dress then.
Yes, because I think Corinne, being Nobleborn, knows how to dress. Like, she's not dressed like this right now, so she'll just take probably like 15, 20, like however much time, probably a little bit supernaturally aided, to get made up and have her hair tied back to look proper as she can be. Which also means putting on shoes, which she doesn't like.
Yes, unfortunately, shoes are required.
Mm.
For now.
Also, if I may have a little crest in that matter, the crew seems rather messy, and they've been leaving eggshells around. I would suggest they keep it, because the amount of times I've stepped on it has been more than to my liking.
Yes. I'll look into that and address your concern.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm just gonna give her the privacy she needs to get ready and wait probably just as close to the ship as I can. Just kind of hanging.
Where is Josephine at the moment?
Just looking at her. She's still, I think she's finished the hardtack finally. Because, it takes a while to get through that. And she's moved on to the next page of her book. I don't think she noticed the ship has stopped moving.
Okay. Nathaniel would walk up behind her and stay a few paces away and just...
Battle straight line and a car.
My Lady Josephine.
Oh! Nathaniel! Hello! Just reading. Hi. And it's got like a big letter D on there. It's like a dog on the other picture.
It's an interesting book you have there.
Yes, I'm on page 4.
Oh.
It's very good so far.
Is it riveting?
Yes. Would you like to read it or borrow it sometime?
Maybe at some point. I own a book myself. Maybe we could trade or
Yes, or we could read our books to each other.
We could.
Yes. I only know how to read to page 4 right now, though.
Oh, that's... Alright, I am sure that the 4 pages you would read to me would be the most exquisite reading I've ever had the pleasure of. Anyway, I got a letter from, Guild.
You got a letter from somebody?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Oh shit, I should have told Deirdre that. I thought I was going to be illiterate as well.
Yeah, except that doesn't work with what you have for that book.
That is true. So yeah,
you have to be able to read the book.
Yeah, I'm completely literate.
Okay.
Whoa.
Level up in literacy.
Whoa.
I've done a book learning.
Yeah. Got a letter from the Gilded Steed.
Sounds fancy.
Oh, it is. Would you care to accompany us? They have something for the crew.
That sounds so much fun.
Yes, I would just advise while you're there to maybe, if you weren't against it, to not necessarily partake in the... Well, I can't stop you from whatever you want. It's just...
What?
This is a business meeting.
Okay. So let you and the captain do most of the talking.
No, you can talk. You have a very voice. You are very voicey.
Nathaniel!
Yeah. Oi, Captain.
Are we going anytime soon? Have you opted for a costume change already?
Seems like our captain is ready to go.
It does sound like it. just put this away. She puts like, there's like a real, there's like probably like a dried out piece of seaweed, and she puts it in as a bookmark. So she doesn't lose her place. And closes the book.
Josie.
Oh no, what? Yes.
And he'll open his satchel and pick out a small book. Open it. Between each page is a pressed flower. And he says, please, no seaweed. That's rough for the book. Just pick one.
Is it bad for the book? I hope the first 3 pages are okay.
By all means, pick whichever you want.
Really? Oh, I think this one's very pretty. She'll point to like a cheerful yellow flower.
And,
probably like a pressed daisy or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say a pressed
daffodil.
sunflower, but like that's...
Yeah, a
Work out so
daffodil.
well.
Nice
Yeah,
daffodil.
like a pressed daffodil.
Thank you so much for the $20, the T-Boys. That's our ship hunter. Enemies at the stern. There's now a pirate hunting ship after us.
Sure, this will go well.
Ooh.
Thank
She'll-
you. I appreciate that.
She'll very carefully put the pressed flower in where the seaweed was, and then close it, and then she puts it in like a little pouch she's got on the side. All right, well, I'm ready to go if you are.
Oh, I was born ready.
Okay. Lead on.
Yes.
So you gather your crew and make your way off the docks, away from the dockside, up through the ramshackle main streets, the low town of Tortuga. Number of people very intoxicated in the middle of the street, passed out. A couple guys are... there's a couple altercations that kind of spill out from one of the bars as you're walking by.
If anyone like spills out in front of us, I just push them back in as we walk
Yeah, there's
by.
there's that full kind of like 2 guys kind of come shoving each other out of the bar, and they're about to throw a punch, and one of them misses and goes to punch at you. Yeah, no, it's easy just to shove them by, and make your way up to
Excuse me.
towards the more fashionable ? District of Tortuga. And you come across a large building, Spanish colonial style, stucco, brightly painted, a kind of pink, like that coral from the outside with the white accents and clay tile roof. It stands 3 stories tall and takes up what would amount to a city block. You are standing outside the gilded steed, and standing discreetly above the door is a wood-gilded figure of a hippocampus. For those of you who do not know what that is, it's the 4 legs and torso of a horse with the tail of a fish. It kind of just is hanging, suspended, no signs. A very sturdy wood door with, a little window in the front with slide.
Mother.
The door slides open. You see a very tall gentleman, very burly looking, probably of Spanish descent, if you had to guess. Someone tried to make him... This is very much an individual who tried to look good, but there's no amount of, mousse or hair stuff that can deal with the giant, loss of teeth, scar, chiseled jaw. He kind of smiles and it doesn't look inviting.
Why do I picture Danny Trejo as a man whore?
Because that's exactly what I'm picturing.
Picture Danny Trejo as if somebody had thought that they were someone picture Danny Trejo is as if he was in the movie Desperado. Picture Danny Trejo from Desperado. And then picture Danny Trejo in Desperado, but wearing Antonio Banderas' outfit.
Ooh, Danny Trejo, but make it fashion. I love it.
Exactly. So even though it's fashionable and looks good, there's still this giant hint of menace that could never be gotten rid of. Ever. Even when he smiles. And he kind of looks at all of you, nods to Nathaniel, and opens the door. And I'm not even going to try and do Danny Trejo's voice, but picture this in Danny Trejo's voice. She's in the upstairs meeting room.
Thank you.
No weapons. And he turns to everyone else, not to Nathaniel.
Oh.
When he says that. Because you're a member of the guild, and therefore the assumption is that you know the rules and what would happen if you break them.
Ooh.
I probably didn't bring my rusty dagger with me.
Oh, I'm packing.
And there's like...
I'm 100%. I am not coming through Tortuga without weapons, but...
and it's one of those, if you see, actually, for those of you on Roll20, there is a map of the gilded. It only has the first 2 floors, but picture floor number 2, the upper floor of floor 2. It also there's another 3rd floor that's the same. It's a Spanish colonial, so there's a large open courtyard in the middle. You come in through the entryway, and right in this entry hall right here, there's a little closet, there's a coat closet and a restroom, and there's a guy who literally will stand there and like you just see it's that scene in Serenity of the lock boxes for everyone's weapons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and you just see the Danny I have to figure out what his name is now. It can't just be Danny Trejo.
Daniel
Treebeard.
Daniel Trevera.
I'll figure out his name in a minute. The major domo for the major domo and head of security for the Gilded Steed stands there and just kind of waits in the main door frame and looks at you, fully expecting all of you to divest yourself of your weapons.
Yes. This is the part where you take off your weapons, not the part where you take off your clothes. That's upstairs.
It's coming up. That's a part.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to partake,
I'm just gonna hand over the one cutlass that I brought with me.
I'm like,
weapon and the explosive. Thought it might be fun to bring the explosive.
I'm like,
and also a knife,
cutlass,
How?
kitchen knife.
And I'm just gonna look at Josephine and be like, why do you have a galley kitchen knife with you?
Well, I was eating hardtack earlier, and I was trying to cut it into bite-sized pieces so I could just snack, and it wasn't cutting, and so I just put it in my pocket for later.
Huh. And I'm going to gently...
That way when I went back to the kitchen, I could just put it away then, but I didn't pass by the kitchen.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm saying goodbye to my cutlass. And I'll go inside.
There's this moment of where the major domo, who of course, his name is Javier. Javier just kind of raises an eyebrow and does the look at the captain and go like, would you like to get rid of the pistol as well?
No.
And just waits.
Fine. And I gently hand over my prized possession, a very, very fancy pistol. There's gold filigree in the handle. It's a gorgeous pistol.
If you have taught me anything, Captain, is that you don't need pistols, right?
It's not about need, Nathaniel. It's about wants. Goodbye, pistol.
I mean, you'll get it back when you leave. And Javier begins to conduct you through this little hallway, around through the goes into the main atrium. You see a number of people that you recognize, but definitely this is the kind of place where you don't acknowledge that you recognize them. You see a couple figures of very much wealth, a couple politicians, some of the major captains that as they're kind of lounging in a couple of these lounge salons off the main room, being entertained by a variety of ladies and gentlemen and others of negotiable virtue.
Captain, how many days are we planning on staying here?
I have a feeling that our original plans will be affected by whatever this business deal is, but a week tops.
Good. I'll probably be quite poor when I leave.
Oh.
Looking around.
Like what you see here, Isaac.
Well,
Everyone's so fancy.
yes, I could get used to this lifestyle, I suppose.
You're missing a bit of a sense of fashion, Isaac, to live this lifestyle.
Yes, next time we're going to have to work with what you have here.
We can talk about cleaning up Isaac later. Can we?
Yeah, so we have to see
Can
Mother.
we continue on? Because
Ellie knows what
I'm like,
Isaac-
my eyes
don't
immediately
think you
caught
can
by
adapt.
like a very pretty dress going, oh, okay. You're like, I would like to hurry through business for business.
I'm sure Mother can give you all the family discount, if you're so inclined, Captain.
Sorry, what?
I'm inclined.
Yes, Isaac, we know.
Your eyes went wide the second we came in here, so...
Staring at
Wider than
the
his
crew for however long we were at sea, it's nice to see something pleasant.
And you
It
don't find your
hurts.
captain pleasant, Isaac.
I'm hurt, Isaac.
Extremely pleasant.
Some
But
members of our crew are very pleasant to look at. And his eyes dart to Josie very quickly and then back to Isaac. Now, should we go see Mother before she gets
Yes.
impatient?
Yes, I would much prefer to see Mother right now than
Very
continue
excited to meet
think
your
about-
mother.
Yes, let's go meet my mother.
You would know Nathaniel because you know Javier. You have seen and done business, and you've worked here a while. And you know Javier, and you know even though he's not snorting in laughter, it's just that stiffening slightly of his back, that he really does want to laugh at your meeting your mother comment.
I just throw him a look of like, you utter one sound, one noise.
He does nothing. But leads you further up the stairs, and you come up the stairs, you stop briefly on the second floor, and you continue up to the third floor. The third floor looks exactly like the second floor, except in this chamber back here, in the back of the house, as you walk along the gallery overlooking, again, the large courtyard with a number of rooms off to the side with closed doors and various sounds emitting from them, is an open-doored room with, instead of a bed chamber, an office kind of sitting room kind of impression. And seated very almost genteelly in the middle of one of these like low couches is Mother Patience.
Do we have a picture for Mother Patience?
It's in the
do.
It's in the
It's
dock?
in the dock.
Okay, I'll just open it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joe, you see Mother Patience, dressed in her signature color of green, with a very, not quite as fancy a dress as she has in here, but picture Liv Tyler from Harlots. But make it South Caribbean. So not quite as heavy a green, like satin, maybe a little bit lighter cotton, adjust for the weather, with her very large green diamond, and their diamond and emerald necklace, and the emeralds are literally the size of her thumb. Like massive. And she sits there very genteelly and just kind of makes eye contact with Javier, and the minute you are all inside, he gently closes the doors, but you don't hear him walk away. She gestures, "Well, have a seat. It is so kind to see your acquaintances, Nathaniel. Would you care to perform introductions?"
Yes. Greetings, Mother. This here is Captain Renata the Rushford, our captain on the Salty Swallow. This is our navigator, Isaac.
Pleasure.
I'm absolutely doing all of the necessary social graces to be polite.
Corin, a member of the crew with very interesting abilities.
Lady Haley, charmed to meet you.
Indeed.
Corinne's gonna just kind of look at her and just like, she's sizing her up. Like, she's been around these people most of her life. Is she actual nobility from that social circle, or is she putting on airs?
Let's hold that for a second, because I want Nathaniel to actually make the first roll of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Josephine.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Nathaniel's mother.
Her face kind of does a moment of slightly raised an eyebrow, but still very calm. Nathaniel, you have a move, I believe, called Flourish.
Yes. When I make a move with outrageous style, I roll with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I roll with disadvantage. And if I succeed, I can mark all luck, I can twist fate, I can impress or fluster someone, or I can clear a weakness.
Yep. But in this particular instance, I just want you to roll basically to see how well your flourish of introductions went.
So, like, to impress her?
Yeah, well, are you trying to impress her?
I'm trying to. Would that be polish?
Yep, roll with polish.
All right. That is a failure.
It is a failure. Good, that helps me answer this question.
Do I get to mark XP for that?
You do, because in this instance, I'm not going to give you a weakness. It's just a failure of you almost miss it, Nathaniel, but you see this flash in Patience's eyes where she makes like a mental note. And it's just that look of like, you screwed up somewhere in what you just did, but you're not 100% sure where. But you know that she knows you screwed up. She doesn't say anything.
You'll have to pardon my manners, but I know that she knows. So pardon my manners, Mother. We have been at sea for quite a while. I might be a little rusty.
It's important to maintain standards. And Corinne, you can definitely tell from her reactions and the way she's acting, if she's not nobility by birth, she is one of those high-level courtesans who basically is nobility.
All right, cool.
It's like she may not necessarily, if she doesn't have the title to go with it, and given her current profession as the madam of a brothel, she probably isn't using the title. But it really, for her level of her manners are definitely such that she's either grown up with them as a true noble or has spent enough time as a courtesan of this rank that it's almost indistinguishable for you all.
Okay.
And the other thing that you would notice if you're looking for that is that, and you would know because she is the madam of the Gilded Steed, that she doesn't have a title that she needs to use. Her power and authority comes from this building. And if you're a certain level of nobility, you would know that at a certain point, she might actually have more power than certain noble women that you've otherwise met, because she knows everybody's secrets.
Yeah.
And knows who is sleeping with who and doing what with whom.
Yeah. So that just ratchets like Corinne's how she's going to behave. She knows it would not be to her benefit to start like pulling stuff around, like trying to pull rank on this person. So she's going to be more behaved around this woman.
Captain.
Yes, my lady.
I have heard a rumor.
What sort of rumor have you heard?
Well, that an item has come into your acquisition.
Many items have come into my acquisition, my lady. I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific.
Recently, about a week and a half ago, leather about 6 inches by 8 inches.
Well, there are a few things in my possession that match that description, but I can think of at least one that might be of interest to you. Although, do you usually mix business with pleasure in such a way?
Cute.
I try, but I do know of what you speak. Tell me, how did you hear about this specific item?
Do you know where it's from?
I know where I got it. I can't say that I know much about its provenance.
Then I'm going to assume then you don't know where it's actually from.
I merely know where I lifted it. And I had hoped, while I was in this fine town, I could do a little research.
Research is good. The downside of this particular item that you don't know 100% about is its original provenance. And its current attachment to your name means that certain people believe that you are the cause of the, well, shall we say, unfortunate demise of the original owner.
That does make for an interesting sort of, shall we say, attributes to this. But tell me, what do you know about it?
Well, I know where it's made from. Do you?
Oh, I have a good guess. Something tells me, though, you know many more specifics, and I am absolutely willing to listen to anything you might tell me.
You're quite good at trying to dissemble, but don't think you are quite as good as you think.
Oh no, I'm exactly as good as I think, my lady.
And she kind of does this moment of eyes up and down, gives you this whole look. And it's like you feel that evaluation, and you realize in that level of she kind of shifted from this polite lady of, invited you into her office to what is very obviously a businesswoman appraisal of someone's physical attributes. And she works and she runs the most expensive brothel probably in this area of the Caribbean. She's well aware of evaluating someone's physical attributes. And you get that impression in your head.
Yeah. I know when I'm being sized up because I size people up constantly. I know exactly what she's doing, but I am offering her no more and no less than my own confidence in what I am for all of my good and bad, but mostly the good.
I don't think your knife work is quite good enough for you to have achieved it yourself. So that will hopefully rule you out of the unfortunate demise of the individual who owned it originally.
That's fair. I accept that.
Also, don't think you're quite good enough at tanning leathers, so that's a good thing in your hands.
No, my hands are much better at other specific skills.
Mm-hmm.
My trigger finger is quite good. She's gonna pretend like she's holding her pistol.
I'm sure. Have you tried to read it yet?
I have. And I'm afraid that it has given me quite a bit of trouble.
Well, in exchange for you telling me exactly whom you picked this item off of, and possibly other things, I might tell you how you could read it.
What sort of other things, my lady?
We'll get to that in a moment.
Fair, but it's very hard to do a business deal without knowing exactly what it is I'm offering.
Your item is incomplete. I have acquired another portion of said item.
Have you now? Will it help me read it? Or is it going to put an even bigger black mark on me and my crew?
I'm sure Nathaniel can inform you that if I determine that you are not a threat, I can assist you in removing some level of that black mark.
What Mother is saying, Captain, is that she's very good at scrubbing away.
Oh, I know exactly what she's saying, Nathaniel.
Smooth, Nathaniel.
Mother Patience, I acquired this item from, let's call them a friend of a friend. And something tells me that she did not know what it is that she possessed. And given your rather fair assessment of me, I would say she's also not a tanner.
Do you have the item on hand? It would be easier to show you.
I'm going to reach into my, just like near the hip where I have like it, and I'm going to pull it out and hold it up.
There's a like small table that is kind of like, she waves at Nathaniel to kind of move in front of her. It's like, or move the. Thank you, darling. And it kind of, it's very obvious that she sets this room both for comfort, but it is her workspace and she works here. So she, kind of manipulates the appearance of the room as she needs. And she just kind of gestures for you to lay it out.
So I unroll my map with its very cursed bindings. I think I clocked Nathaniel wondering if maybe I was talking about something else, and I'm just going to give him a look that's like, it's not to say that I don't have that as well.
Josie looked completely clueless the whole time y'all were talking and was just like looking around the room, politely not saying anything.
Yeah, so I roll it out and take gentle care to smooth the leather so it stretches nice.
Is this the first time like we, the crew, have seen this?
Absolutely. This is definitely like one of the things that is keeping me up at night is bringing this thing around into Tortuga.
I can't tell the difference, so I glance over, I'm like, oh, map. And then I go back to twiddling my thumbs and looking around obliviously.
I look at it like, Captain, where did you get this?
As I said, Isaac, it was a friend of a friend.
And you have not shown it to me?
But let's just say as my lady has suggested, it is not particularly an object that you want flashing around, and I'm afraid I wanted to learn a little more about it before I brought it to you.
Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at this map?
Oh, yeah.
I think you should roll size up then. Roll plus figure. Usually it's used to size up a person, but in this case we'll use it for you as a professional to size up the map that's been laid out, or at least. Ooh. 10. 10s are very good. You are looking at this, and Isaac. Okay, are you doing Isaac or Isaac?
Isaac.
Okay. Just because I was like, wait, there are two S's or two A's?
But there are two S's.
Yeah, there are two. Are you spelling it with two S's or two A's?
Just go two S's. It's fine.
Okay, so you're just spelling it weird, but your name is still Isaac. Good to know. You notice two things immediately looking at this. Number one, it is incomplete. You can definitely see where the edges of the lines of whatever this map is of go off the sides, and there's very obviously something, at least one other piece, maybe two, that should be attached to this. You see a number of words written on the sides. You can't read them. They're not in English. And you know maps. And you look at this, and it takes you a second, but you look at it again, and you realize this is not ink drawn on this piece of leather. This is tattooed. And then you look at the edges, which are a little bit stained red.
I'm probably not good at hiding my expression, but I'm definitely gazing at it like in wonder, like, ooh. If the captain lets me, like, I'll try to like move closer so I can even like get over top of it.
I'll allow it. But, you know, like within reason, like don't freak out mother patients or anything.
It might be a little creepy.
The map
Just
is
like
creepy.
touching my hands on it, like, oh, this is quite exquisite.
Is this the first time that we've seen Isaac kind of like be this interested in something that's...
No way. No,
Yeah,
I have heard him talk to the ship in a way that kind of would be alarming if I didn't already know and have sailed with Isaac before.
Oh yeah, I'm probably up like late at night, like while the ship's moving, just like, where are you taking me, my precious? Like,
hearing him coo at this map is uncomfortable only because of what this map is and what it's made of, not because it's Isaac making these noises. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think Corinne just gets creepily close to Isaac from like next to him. It's like in his ears, like, what do you see there? She'll smile.
You know, I see a lot less, and I'll turn and look at the captain, and I'll wink, like very obviously, but I want my head turned away from Madam Patience. Just, it is nothing. I thought I recognized something, but it was nothing.
So, my lady,
Mm-hmm.
you said you know where the other pieces are.
No, I know of general location of one, and I know the very location of another. As for this, I'm glad you will not currently be hunted down by the guild for murdering a member.
It's not.
Wait, who?
No one of your consequence, Nathaniel. But the individual, well, shall we say, the original owner of this particular map portion was a former attaché who worked under one, well, that horrible, horrible Morgan, and worked independently for the guild. A friend at times. But when, well, he left Morgan's employ for a brief period and then was supposed to be doing certain jobs for the guild, and we were hired to arrange a proper tattooist. I'm glad to know that you were not the one who scalped him, though.
Not particularly my style, as you've noticed.
Yes.
However, I don't believe that my contact where I acquired this knew what it was. In fact, I would be willing to wager that she came about it in much a similar way as I did.
I would prefer to know her name so that I might be able to inform those who are, shall we say, redressing certain problems with this unfortunate passing, and do not become distracted by such.
Now, I can offer that, and I may, but I think I need to know where the other pieces are.
I have one here. The other is, well, that's slightly more complicated.
It's not still with the original owner, is it?
Not to my knowledge. I believe, well, last we knew where it was. It was in the possession of one Ignatius Steele.
But I recognize that name. Ignatius Steele.
I don't think so.
Josephine's definitely making a big face, though, because terrible poker face. I think she's not saying anything, but she's like,
My lady, tell me, what would it take to get your piece?
We desire certain...
And I don't mean to be crass about it, but let's just say very few things are off the table for me to get my hands on the other piece. This.
Child. You're cute, but not my type.
She's just gonna roll with it. It's like, that's fine. But not everybody needs the same things, and I assume that you need something of us.
I am, shall we say, busy. And while I would not usually engage in such if I'm going to be a little bit frank and slightly crass, I don't really need any of the money that's at the end of that. However, there is a rumor that bothers me that there is another item in the chest attached to that little map of yours. I would be willing for you to gift you this information that I have in exchange for the little chest being brought to me. You could keep whatever else you find. I know for a fact that there's a significant number of gold and gem attached to this.
I believe we have an accord then. I will bring you the tiny chest at the end of this if you provide me the other piece.
I think we should have a drink to discuss our future business dealings. Javier, bring the wine. And I guess rum for those who desire such. And on that, we're going to take the break for the afternoon.
All right, everyone, stick around. Go grab something to drink. Perhaps rum. Maybe. It's late enough in the afternoon for that.
it's never too early.
It's
late for rum.
yeah. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everyone. we're back, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Well, I hope you are all refreshed and ready to dive back in as the crew begins their conversation. Well, there's Javier brings a couple bottles of wine, some very nice rum, very high quality rum for those who choose to partake of that, kind of a mix of fruit juices, and as things are being discussed, Mother Patience would inform you or say, well, the other piece of this map was held in possession of one Ignatius Steele by last accounts. His last known shall we say, well, last time anyone saw where he was, it was, he had been, well, caught on the wrong side of certain actions. And the penalty for his crime was to serve a period of penal servitude to one Tobias Mullins. Unfortunately, there was a small fire on the plantation owned by one Tobias Mullins about 2 years ago. No one has seen any of the Ignatius Steele since.
Is that so? That's unfortunate.
But some people might be able to further expand on this information, I'm quite sure. And she just kind of scans the room.
I'm going to just kind of try to follow her gaze.
I follow too. Like, huh?
It lingers briefly on Nathaniel. And then just kind of scans over Josephine. But you're not sure if... Renata, you are not sure if you have any information about that she knows what's going on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll apparently have an emergency to deal with.
Oh no.
Oh.
See you in a
Give me a
minute.
sec. See you in a minute. Oh, sorry.
We'll just
Real
discuss
life.
amongst ourselves.
I imagine this is like a after that discussion in our privacy, and it's like, is there something you'd like to tell your captain?
The secrets
You're
happening.
muted, Simon.
Oh, I was gonna say, so burning plantation seems to be an activity that the crew of the Salty Swallow seems to enjoy.
Yes, we're big fans of arson.
No.
Let us discuss our previous adventure.
Arson.
No arson. No fire on board, please.
Oh,
Not
not
on board the ship, but I can't say that we didn't burn the last ship that we plundered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you would have found me, like, hiding away.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine that we said Nathaniel, it's like, can you go below deck and deal with this cannon?
Yeah, do we just have like
and
a
then
politeness?
it's just like the rest of us being like, burn it, burn it, burn it.
Yeah, do
burn
we just like have like this politeness for Nintendo? It's like, okay, we know he doesn't like fire. We'll have.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like coded language.
I have a thing where like I'm immune to fire and heat, so I can just like walk in and walk out of this thing, like just like not be hurt. Real creepy. It's not great.
I'm just sort of imagining like we're all just like, Nathaniel, can you go down to the galley and look for something? And like we always have like a really strange like specific request.
Get 2 bottles of elbow grease for me from below decks.
Can you find what happened to the beeswax that I'm pretty sure was left behind? And just like it's always these like really dumb tasks that like put him below ship, out of sight, out of mind, and then it's just like
it's a warning to the rest of the crew. We're gonna light some shit on fire.
Yeah.
Everybody knows except for poor Nathaniel.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, we're like code.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So I think Josie would pull Isaac aside. Isaac, could you help me with something over here?
Wait, who are you talking to?
Oh, that would be Isaac when we have a moment away from the madam.
Oh.
So yes. You would see. So you have Josie pulling Isaac away, and you, Captain, you would see Mother Patience's eyes drift briefly over Nathaniel, and then kind of over Josephine, slightly questioning, but not really. And then she kind of drifts back to Nathaniel and gives you that honest mom look, like, are you going to say it?
You don't mean the plantation that we burned all those years ago when we escaped?
Well, I mean,
Jamaica.
Tobias Mullen. Yes.
I'm just gonna look at Nathaniel and like...
Tobias Muller. Tobias...
Mullins.
Oh, Mullins! Why... He was in possession of a map?
No, he was in possession of one Ignatius Steele.
Who's part of the map?
Who has part of the map.
I feel like the Mullins of Jamaica might be out to get us. Or me, as it were.
Yes, Erasmus has upped the bounty on your head again, Nathaniel.
Oh, how much am I worth now?
2,000 crowns.
Not bad. I know some ladies willing to pay 2,000 crowns to spend time with me.
Wait, Erasmus as in Bishop of Port... Nathaniel, what did you do?
His sister-in-law.
Ah.
But more importantly, that small fire you dealt with, Nathaniel.
Yeah, I remember the fire.
Unfortunately, Tobias is no longer with us. Winifred does send her regards, however, and says that unfortunately her brother, she cannot deal with her brother, and she cannot, mitigate her brother-in-law's desires for you to be hanged, drawn, and quartered, or the 2,000 crowns that are currently for your head. But she does remember you quite fondly, and so there's that. However, there is a small problem that I need to deal with. As you kind of hear a small, sound coming from one of the side rooms, slightly muffled. Make yourselves comfortable. If you choose to partake in the wares of the household, you are more than welcome to. At a discount, sort of. We can
map?
further discuss this situation.
Map, please.
Thank you, Mother.
And
Your kindness is greatly appreciated.
indeed. And she will, like, kind of wait until, like, the door opens and just kind of look at you all, like, bye.
I will stand up and make my polite exit. Perhaps even, if I may be so bold, if she offers her hand, I will definitely kiss her hand. But do I get the map? Ken has map?
She will give you, she will tell you that she will have all of the map for you when you're ready to leave. Wouldn't want it to get lost among certain individuals who don't always behave as they should in such an establishment. You can stay right there.
Greatly appreciated.
So, in that case, she will take her leave of you to the next room and let you all partake in the evening.
Josie, do you know something?
Ooh.
As we scurry off to the corner.
Okay, so you know when she said Ignatius Steele, I know that person.
Do you know where he is?
Oh no, I have no idea, but I know them very well.
How well's very well?
Like really well. Like
If you and him locked eyes in a crowded room across the bar, would you say, give me the piece of the map, and he would give it to you well?
oh no, he was always in charge. He was my accomplice.
Your which accomplice?
My murder accomplice. We would sit down, he would go away, have a meeting or whatever, and then he would come back to my room and he would say, okay, Josie, we are going to go murder someone. And then he would tell me who we were going to murder and how we were going to do it, and then I'd go do it with them.
So
We did this a lot.
you would be able to negotiate with this man, should we find him.
Fine, negotiate.
He has something that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And you know this man that has something that we want.
Mm-hmm. I could introduce you.
You know what? Maybe that would just be best. Do you... What does he like to... When he's not murdering, what does he like to do?
Well, he likes to drink wine and tea and play board games and talk with people.
Is he a man that would like this establishment or a seedier?
It's very fancy, so probably.
He is a fancy man.
Yes.
Interesting. Is he cordial?
Oh, yes. I mean, when we lived in Spain, we would visit people all the time. Well, he would mostly do the visiting, and I would stand there and try to not be bored.
Does he
We
frequent...
traveled a lot.
Where was the last place you saw your accomplice?
Oh, it was when we were in the penal colony. That Nathaniel burned down. And I escaped and followed him.
That was the last time you saw him? So you would have zero ideas about where he is now.
No clue. But I know him. I know that name.
What does he look like? Should we see
Oh.
him?
So he is very tall,
Mhm.
and he has long dark hair and a mustache that does this, and then a little beard. And he likes to wear black and white and gray and red. And he takes a lot of baths, so he's not smelly, typically. There was that one time when we were in Africa. But most of the time, he's very well groomed. And he's very smart, super smart. He was always the brain person, plan maker. He would tell me what to do, and then I would do it.
Interesting. If you were looking for him,
Mm-hmm.
where would you go to look?
I never had to go look for him. So he would always come to me and say, Josie, we're going to do something. I mean, I stayed in my room a lot. So, like a lot. Until he would come get me.
Do you think that we should tell the rest of the crew?
That's why I wanted to tell you to see if you knew what we should do.
I mean, we need this man. Yes, he has something that we want.
I guess so.
And
That's what the conversation sounded like. I listened to half of it ish. It's really boring. And then I heard scalping, and I tuned back in.
so we know what you did for a living prior to this.
Well, I didn't get paid.
You just murdered people for free?
Yes, because Ignatius told me to.
I'm glad you're part of the crew.
Me
Sorry.
too. You are all very nice. Well, most of you all are very nice.
Yes,
You include me in way more things, like pillaging and plundering and food times and hang out and drink rum times. It's great. We have so much fun.
I think there would be more fun to be had, but we should tell the captain that you know this man and what he looks like and what he likes to do.
Okay.
Perhaps he might even be close by. We don't know.
He might be. I haven't seen him since then. But I also haven't been looking, so there is that.
So how many years ago was it?
It was like 2 years ago. So as long as I've been with the crew.
And I wonder. Yes, we should go tell the captain and the rest of the crew.
Okay.
This is a secret that is best shared.
Okay. So it's like a crew secret.
Yes.
Ship secret. All right. And she'll attempt
Captain.
to slink a little bit closer to the captain and the rest of the crew.
I'm 100% just like sitting and enjoying my rum and talking to some very gorgeous people.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as the two of you walk up, I'm just like, this better be important or you can fuck right off.
Captain, this is kind of important.
He says it's important.
Will you excuse me for a moment? I say to the gorgeous people that I was talking to and having a great time with.
And I'll gesture over to Nathaniel too, and Corinne. Like a little scared. Like, oh, if they don't notice this gesture, it's okay. But
She like locks eyes with you and just stands up and walks with her wine.
This better be good.
No.
It'll be worth your time.
What are you
Josie
little birds talking about?
Josie knows Ignatius Steele.
Oh, good.
Very well, in fact.
Joseph.
Oh well.
he's like a father to me.
Okay.
Sure.
Wait, is he a father to you like Patience is a mother to me?
I don't know.
Then I'll take that as a no.
As much as I would love to plunder the depths of that psychological trap, Josephine,
Yes.
who is Ignatius Steele?
Oh, he is a man. A very fancy man.
I mean,
A man with a plan.
I see.
Oh, he was also my accomplice. You've heard me talk about my accomplice.
I have.
Yes.
I did not realize that your accomplice was also into map collecting.
I did not know this either. I learn new things all the time.
Which is... I'm just gonna down the, thing of rum I had. Just...
She knows most things about him.
I know a
What he-
lot
what
about
he-
him.
What
Well,
he
you know,
looks like.
because when we lived in Spain, we did a lot of murdering. Well, mostly I did the murdering, but he came up with the murder plans and told it, and decided who we were going to murder and when. And then we traveled a lot. There was Africa and England and France and other places. And then we came here. And then we traveled some more, and then we got on the plantation, and then Nathaniel saved me.
But more importantly, she knows what he looks like and
Oh,
what
yes.
his hobbies are. And what he
Long
might be
hair,
doing now.
mustache,
Did not...
beard. He's
Mother
tall.
Patience had said that he's been gone, that no one's seen him since your fire incident.
He could have died. I don't know.
Well,
There was a
going
lot of fire.
further.
Could be going under an alias of some sort, you know.
Oh, he could be.
Josephine,
Yes, that's me.
I believe we need to find him. And
Okay,
you know what he looks like.
I do.
You know where you've
I
traveled.
haven't seen him. Yes,
You know his interests.
I know some of the names of the places, but if I saw the places again, I would recognize them.
If you saw them on a map, would you recognize them?
No, I mean there's colors and squiggly lines, so I know that some of the colors are places and some of the squiggly lines are places.
Isaac, I still feel it might be best for you to work with Josephine to sort of... You know enough about places. And perhaps our combined knowledge would allow us to
We
sort
traveled
of...
a lot, so
Well, we can assume that he probably hasn't left the Caribbean. Let's just be honest.
I do know places, but if I point on a map and I say, "Have you been here?" and she says, "I don't know," it makes it very hard to...
does it? I'm sorry. Maybe if you could describe what the place looks like.
did any
There
of these
is-
places have a name?
Well, some of them did. I just don't know all of them because sometimes I would be asleep or in my cabin, and then he would say, "Josephine, it's time to go," and I'd be like, "Okay," and then we'd be in the place. And if he didn't tell me where the place was, I didn't ask. So
Seems like
So
he treated
would
you
all-
like nothing more than a weapon.
Maybe. Apparently, all of these business dealings she did for free.
Oh.
Josephine,
Mhm.
I know it may be difficult because you don't know names, but perhaps as a crew can help you scour your memories for what you remember of places, and we can at least get a few possibilities of where he could be.
Okay. Well, the last place I saw him was the plantation.
Yes, perhaps me and you can do a reading at some point on the ship later, Josephine.
And I look at the captain like, do I have to?
Corinne, if you think a reading would actually get us a location, great, but there's no need to pressure Josephine if she's... It might be that anything you can remember.
Okay. Well, he played the game with the pawns and the knights, which looked like horses,
The
the
chess.
kings and the queens.
And she's going to put a hand on Josephine's shoulder. No. Not right now.
Okay.
We're going to take some time, and we're going to figure it out. I promise.
Okay.
Yes,
But-
because our captain is so interested in Anita and Celestine over there.
Yeah. Actually, Captain, do you know what's at the end of this map? Where does it lead?
I have
Somewhere.
a theory.
Okay.
But also, some of what Mother Patient said confirms. There is a lot of gold and a lot of gems. But whatever's in that tiny chest,
Mm-hmm.
that's... I know Mother Patience wants it, but... We need to... Obviously, we...
The walls of years here, Captain.
Oh,
Mother-
he's
what Mother
Spanish.
Oh, there's so many.
She remembered something else
in
to
summary,
tell.
yes, I know what's at the end of this map. Or at least I have a good enough idea.
But Josie has a point. If he's Spanish, he is not going to go into ports that are unfriendly to the Spaniards.
Maybe. He did have friends in a lot of places.
But we can start with...
He knew so many people that he was very popular.
We could just ask around Tortuga.
Someone might have scores settled with him.
Well,
I mean, judging
Mhm.
by the description, he is a rather beautiful man. I mean, mustache, small beard, tall.
Have
His
a-
facial hair looks almost just like yours, but
Oh.
darker.
as beautiful as I assume Ignatius still is, we need to find him first before we can truly...
Well, I'll know him
Appreciate
if we see him.
Okay. Then I think we all know that we need to do some exploring around Tortuga.
Where do you want me to explore?
Well, the whole of the city, really.
Okay.
The island.
It's a big
we
city,
need-
a lot of places.
There's a lot of places. This is true. I think I need to... Reaching for an empty glass and noticing it's empty. I think I still need to think.
Oh.
One. Oh, go ahead, Nathaniel.
Celeste, sister. Why don't you bring Captain Renata some more, what was it, rum? Wine?
Always rum.
What's her poison? Some more rum. for
Don't
my
drink it if
captain.
it's poisoned! You'll die. Or be
Drink-
poisoned.
Oh, but that's what makes it good.
The only death you meet here, Josie, is the small death.
What's the difference between small death and big death?
Small death is more fun, right?
Yeah.
To scream in good time if you do it right.
I thought death was like the end of, you know.
There is so many deaths. I can.
Wow.
So,
I thought I knew a lot about death, but apparently you need to teach me some.
also, the big death is not the end of things, Josie.
One last aside, Captain. From what I gathered talking to Josie, Ignatius seems quite clever.
He's
Smart,
very
cunning.
smart. He's the brain man.
Mm.
Man with
And
the
that
brain.
if he does indeed have this map, getting it from him might be tricky. If he knows what it is, or if he means to use it himself.
If he has the map, and it's like this, the one that you have, it's going to be very easy to take it from him.
Yes.
Go on.
It will
You-
be.
You took great interest in that map. Do you know what it is?
Not right. I would have to examine it more. I just saw it for a moment.
Don't worry. As soon as we get it back with the other piece, we can examine it.
How many pieces are there total? Do we know?
Well, we think there's 3.
Okay.
But if your accomplice is as clever as you say, you might have a sense of that.
He's so smart.
But not
Or
smart
that they
enough.
all dumb.
But not smart enough not to get caught, at least this once, so.
Well, there was a lot of times where we didn't get caught doing a lot of things, so I suppose eventually you're bound to get caught doing something.
Josephine, do you know why he kept having you commit the...
No, I never asked. He just would tell me to do it, and then I would do it.
You never
I'd
thought...
wait in my room. I'd wait in my room very patiently and try not to be bored. And then he'd come and say, Josie, we're going to go kill someone. And so I'd go, okay. And I'd get my things, and then we'd go, and then we'd kill them. Then I'd go back to my room.
I think
And then
Corinne
sometimes if he had guests over, he'd tell me to come out of my room and stand there.
I think Corinne just like
Guests over.
looks to an empty point there. It's like, do you think there's that involved in that? Do you think she was? No. I'm just saying that you might have been. Did he do the things that I do, Josephine?
I don't think so. I never saw it. He was never spooky.
Because if he does the things that I do, but with people, then we're in a lot more trouble. And have a lot more trouble with him than I thought.
Oh boy.
If you want to, whenever we find them, I have my way to make people talk.
I could
This-
introduce you.
Well, that's the goal, Josephine.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
we
say-
all
Mr. Ignatius Steele. I would say this is Nathaniel. Nathaniel, this is Mr. Ignatius Steele.
think me. That's not what I'm... Josephine, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Can you perhaps... We need to find him.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything you can think of, if there's any organization he was in, if he was part of a crew, if
Oh,
he's
he
part of
was
the
he
Legion.
was part of some type of weird, like group of people. They'd have meetings. You'd go to the meetings. I would stand outside and wait while he had the meetings. Then he'd come out of the meetings.
Well,
He was always meeting them in different places. So I have a very important meeting to go to, and then he'd go to the meeting.
so we're looking for a society man. Great. It's maybe
Well, it's
harder
just-
to find.
Well, a society is easier to find than one person.
If we can find the society, we might be able to find somebody that's harboring him.
He did have a lot of friends.
Or
in
enemies.
the group.
Just because he's in the group doesn't mean there's some enemies in that group.
That's true.
And if he's in the business of murdering people,
Did people
Somebody-
Will you make a business out of that?
Oh.
Did you ever see people pay your accomplice for a murder?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Don't remember if they did or not.
Could have been.
Usually,
hired
I'd be
killers.
cleaning up after the murdering. Because there was like, I had to clean myself, and then there was clothes and weapons, and there's a lot of cleaning involved in murder. Laundry.
Killing is messy. Did you say lingerie or laundry?
Laundry.
Okay.
Nathaniel.
I'm sorry. It's
a habit of your profession, and
yes.
Trust me, it makes you a very valuable member of the crew. But I don't think we have a plan right now. And
do we really?
Listen, it's rum o'clock, baby.
Do we need to have a plan at the moment? We can just.
No, we don't need a plan at the moment, is what I'm saying. Everybody, and I'm just going to look at the four of you. Think about how we find a man who's been missing for 2 years, who has a lot of friends, who's part of some kind of organization that would probably hide him, connected to the Spaniards most likely, and get back to me in the morning or some other time.
Okay. Have fun,
Isaac, you
Captain.
wanted a bath, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You should enjoy that while you can.
Yes.
I have a feeling this is not going to be a fun visit.
I think I shall enjoy the luxuries of high society while I still have them.
And I'm just going to pull Corinne closer and be like, did you notice behind you? There's been a certain gentleman just sort of staring at you. And not in the, kind of an inviting way.
You mean
Did
tall,
not.
dark, and handsome?
I wouldn't call him dark. Handsome? Yeah.
Well then, maybe a little fun too. Enjoy the time.
Well, if y'all are going for business, I have some time off for myself. And Nathaniel would go sit in like a chair or a lounge chair and just kick his feet up. Stretch and... You can go and have your fun, Captain. Everybody else.
She's raised her glass and left at this point. Absolutely.
Well, if anyone's looking for me, I'll be right here.
I think, because Isaac's got a plan, and Corinne has a plan, and the captain has a plan, I think Josie will go over to Nathaniel and go, so, there are lots of things to do here, I've heard. Do you think I need a bath? Do I stink?
Josie, you never stink. Well, I mean... Maybe.
Okay, I'll go take a bath then, and then I don't know. I guess I'll sit out here for a while.
If you want to keep me company, I would appreciate.
It's much better than waiting alone for hours.
Did you want someone to help you with your bath?
Why would I need help?
Oh, I'm just checking.
Is it complicated?
There are
more than
many
just
services offered here, and one of them, one of the many, is to have someone help you take a bath.
Oh, I can reach most places, so I think I'll be okay.
That's good to hear. And I'll point you to one of the rooms.
Yeah, she definitely waits for you to point her in the direction, and then goes, "Okay, I'll be back," and then she goes off.
Cool. So, Josephine is going off to the rest to be refreshed, recovered. Nathaniel's leaving her to her own devices. Where did we leave?
Everyone else is gone to partake in the services of the Gilded Steel.
The whole thing.
What's the 17th century version of Careless Whisper? Because I would like to whisper that.
and I'm just reclining on a couch, waiting for people.
You're reclining on a couch.
Yes.
That's very intriguing. I have questions while you're reclining on this couch.
Mm.
You would notice, that there is an individual, after you've let Josephine retire, there's an individual who's been staring very hard at Josephine. You would nominally recognize him. He's a pirate of some note. Not anyone that you have ever had any...
But not a worker here.
No. A gentleman who usually partakes of certain fun, but has been restrained in recent months. Rumor has it that he actually has a committed relationship.
She doesn't work here, mate.
No. But that ring she was wearing. I didn't know they let her kind in here.
We let just about any type of people in here. What of it?
Thought it was a harbor. I'll have to talk to Mother about that.
She's here on Mother's own invitation.
And you see his face start to question that. Like, there's something in your statement and what he knows that's not computing.
Now, I heard you were in a committed relationship. What are you doing here?
Emma had to drop some stuff off for some people, and I had friends I wanted to check in on. And it was a safe harbor.
Then once you're done with your checking in and your dropping stuff, would you kindly fuck off?
Ooh. Here's an interesting question. Are you...
Hi.
Okay. He does not take that well.
Oh shit.
He is of an opinion that this is a... Well, I'll have to let other folk know that Mother's revoked her safe harbor then.
Did you notice any weapons on her, friend? I mean, if looks could kill, she'd be lethal, but... she's not armed.
Oh, no, do you?
If it's any consolation for you, me and my big sword over here, we can take care of her. If it comes to that.
Oh, I don't think your sword's quite big enough to deal with her issues. But if you don't know, then it's not my place to tell. And he kind of turns to walk away, and you just see him as he goes down the open air gallery. Stop about 2/3 of the way and have a very short conversation with Javier before he kind of turns over his shoulder and waves his left hand at you. You would possibly noticed that his right arm has been, well, he doesn't use his right hand. It's not there.
Uh-huh.
And he just kind of flips you off in return, whispers something else to Javier, and goes downstairs.
I'll turn to one of the girls. Sister,
Brother,
who was that prick?
Killian Jones.
Killian Jones. Sounds like a captain.
With a hook.
Sounds like the type of person who'd have a hard time fighting a kid with a knife.
He seems to be pretty well acquainted. And he's Emma's friend. So.
Emma?
The captain of the Swan.
Well. What's he doing here anyway? Does he come here often?
Not lately. Like I said, he's Emma's friend now.
Oh.
But he did have some family business, apparently. One of his cousins ended up dead mysteriously. Well, actually, quite a few of his cousins ended up dead.
You
It's
either
tragic.
die mysteriously or you die of syphilis.
Not here.
So Killian Jones.
Rumor is that he's very good with a dagger. And the sword.
Maybe one day we'll meet. Maybe I should get a pet alligator.
How do you want a gator? Mother would be most displeased.
I don't know, it's just a thought that crossed my mind. Ah,
I'm sure.
there we go. The captain's going at it. Well, sister,
She's quite impressive stamina.
I wouldn't know. I don't sleep with my boss.
Do any of us ever?
I mean, some of us don't have that qualm.
Really? That seems quite déclassé.
If you, Papa! If you have a moment, dear sister, if you're not too busy, and I point her to Isaac's room.
You know that's going to be double, right?
Mother said there was the family discount. He's the one paying anyway.
So double, not triple. And she just kind of saunters off and kind of does this negligent wave over her shoulder as she just kind of doesn't even knock, just pushes the door open and then closes the door behind her.
And I'll just take another drink.
Kareen, as you're enjoying the partaking of the wonderful pleasures of this house, after you've partaken of the wonderful pleasures of this house, you feel something odd. Like this whispering sound.
But not the usual whispering sound, though. Different.
No.
Okay.
It's slightly different. You're well used to certain individuals are whispering in your ear and calling to you, but this seems to be a more sending from a more local plane and not one further away.
Oh. It takes. So kind of like look in the direction it's coming from. She feels it.
There's a wind kind of rustles through like the light linen curtains that are hanging from the large double door, plantation style windows. And you see this mist of an image that just looks like three figures circling again, and it just kind of whispers to draw your attention.
Ooh, this is the first real interesting thing she's been here, so she's gonna just immediately go toward it, or wherever beckons her.
Would lead you to the window, and overlooking the window, if you look down and around, you see a figure that you are vaguely familiar with. Very beautiful but aged woman. Like, she was very beautiful in her core, but life hasn't treated her very well. African descent, long dreadlocks hanging down. Her dress, which looks like it should be a great velvet ball gown, is tattered and torn. And she just looks up at you and smiles and whispers, "We have things to discuss."
She'll whisper back, "The usual place and time, I imagine."
Nightfall,
Yes.
moonrise. "See you later, child." And she just kind of drifts down the alleyway and away.
Well, if I'm gonna have any fun here, might as well do it now before.
Yes, you probably should have your fun now before, you get distracted by other things.
Yeah, I think eventually I'm gonna find Captain Renata and just tell her that I'll be indisposed for a certain amount of time during the evening. It's best that you don't know.
I have no qualms with that.
She gives you a look. It's like, yeah, it's that kind. It's that.
Like, don't ask. You don't want to know.
It's one of those, like, I know.
Or do ask, and I'll tell you all about it. You're not gonna like it.
I think I have the vaguest idea, being one of the only people that is actually okay to be up on the deck at nighttime, and it's just like, see you later.
Have fun.
Be safe. Be home for supper. No.
Always.
Be home for breakfast is the more accurate statement there.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Be back at breakfast.
So, Corinne's going to have her fun before her midnight meeting, as it were. The captain is enjoying herself a lot, we shall say. Nathaniel is relaxing, chilling. Josephine is having a bath.
Yeah, after her bath,
Isaac
she's gonna
is-
go hang out with Nathaniel. 'Cause that's
Okay,
her plan.
She's going to go back and hang out with Nathaniel, and Isaac is partaking of the pleasures of the house, shall we
I mean,
say.
what else is she gonna do here?
Anything, really, if you can afford it.
I am indisposed until my money runs out.
Good to know. Good to roll me. You know what? Roll me.
Oh no.
Yes.
Roll me 3d10.
Oh. Ooh.
You currently have 15. You currently have 15 guild to work with.
Wait, guild?
Guild, yeah, the currency
Yeah,
that's
that's the
you know,
currency.
Yeah, I know, but a guild is like 1,000 coins.
Yes.
Okay.
Pirates.
Oh,
Listen,
fun.
again, we're pirates
Oh,
that
that's
have a no prey, no pay rule where it's just like it's like all the loot goes in a big pile and then you just take stuff as you need it.
no,
Like
but
it's very equitable.
Money
thought-
rope.
15 guild, is that what we each have?
Oh, that's what he currently has on him.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's how much money he needs to go through.
Hmm.
And go through it he shall.
So in about 6 hours, he'll be run through that.
Oh.
6 hours.
Just
But
come back to the ship on a gurney. Because you won't believe what happens.
You're the first one back. It's like I'd be hard.
Like I said, she was charging you double, not triple.
I'm gonna tell the ship all about it.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
You will have your conversation with the ship, and we see Josephine coming out of from the bath, and as you go to approach Nathaniel,
I'm like a couple shades lighter. Just
yeah,
it's been a while.
get rid of all the dirt. I mean,
Yeah.
like you could do swim calls. I'm sure
Yeah.
at some point there's a couple swim
I'm
calls.
sure she does. Yeah. But
For those of you who don't know what a swim call is, that's when the bosun sounds call and you jump off the ship into the water.
those always make her nervous. So she always clings real hard to the side of the ship and she doesn't get as much swimming done. So she likes a good bath.
As you're coming back to Nathaniel, Javier comes up to the both of you. Mother would like a word with the two of you.
Why does your mother want to speak with us? Did I do something wrong? Did I take too long in the bath?
No, I think it's something I did, and Mother was not wary of. You might want to take that ring off.
Which one?
Late now.
Oh, well.
I have 6 on. Which one?
It's alright, Josie.
Okay.
I'll be in a lot of trouble, I figure. But then again, Mother didn't really specify anything. So I'll go to Mother's room.
I will follow. I will come with.
And Javier closes the door behind you, and this time you hear him walk away.
Mother.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's mother.
Don't call me that.
Oh, what should I call you then?
You can call me Madam Patience.
Madam
Patience. How old is Nathaniel?
28.
Yeah. Patience is like 34, maybe.
Josie has no idea. She's just...
She is not that much older than Nathaniel. You have a ring, I see.
I have several.
Does she not know?
I don't think she does.
Do you not know? Ignatius Steele was imprisoned for a number of, shall we say, unfortunate demises that occurred under his watch. The individuals that he arranged an unfortunate accident for were all related. That particular family has safe harbor here. That ring does not.
Oh, this ring.
So you weren't trying to undermine and or cause me to lose customers then? Do you frequently avail our guests in such an aggressive manner, Nathaniel, or have you...
He's not a guest, he's a delivery boy.
He walked into this establishment and therefore not a member of the guild, potential customer.
Happily
I thought you'd know
married.
that.
Plus Jones
So
doesn't...
half of the men in this establishment are currently happily married. That doesn't mean that they don't frequent this establishment.
I think Jones is too much of an idiot to think about cheating.
True. He doesn't. But the only time you would see him here would be if he needed to have a meeting with those who claim safe harbor here and pay for the privilege. So again, customer.
Well, my apologies. Next time he looks at another customer with daggers in his eyes, I will let them come to blow.
Yes, child.
So, just out of curiosity, what does my ring have to do with any of this? And Mr. Ignatius Steele?
Mr. Ignatius Steele was a member of a society that dealt with certain things on certain political issues and certain things that I'm not currently a fan of, and therefore the opposing family are given safe harbor here. That ring is a sign of the society that he belonged to.
Oh?
What does the ring look like?
The ring looks like silver. Men's ring looks like a seal engraved with a cross on the front top surface, 2 crosses on either side, embossed with red enamel.
This is screaming Templars to me, but I would have rather the ring had like a sort of a sextant in the form and the shape of an A.
If only.
Josie, you ever jumped off very, very tall building for the sheer fun of it?
No.
Okay, just checking.
That sounds crazy. Sounds like a good way to die.
But if you are going to make comparisons, the comparison to the Templar ring is quite sound.
Alright, so
It also looks very old and very heavy and very much a man's ring, not very feminine looking.
Well, I'm not going to judge what Josie wants to put her fingers in.
If she loses me a contract, then I'll judge quite well.
If she loses you a contract, Mother, I am willing to reimburse it.
You're willing to reimburse me this number? And she slides a piece of paper in front of you.
There's a lot of squiggles.
There are 8 zeros after it.
Well,
And it's not in coin.
if I live forever, yes.
I'll just put this ring in my pocket for now.
And if anyone asks, you liberated it from an individual who was already dead at the time.
Okay.
I thought that was what happened.
Oh, no, a friend gave me this. They were like, here, wear this. And I said, okay.
Oh. I thought you had killed someone for it. That's how I acquired most of my jewelry.
That's what all the rest of them are from.
Oh, okay.
This friend who gave you this piece of jewelry, do you have a name?
I'm sure they have a name.
Oh,
Would
we went
you
through that
like
earlier,
to roll
Mother.
hoodwink for me?
No, she's so bad at that. But it's also written on her terrible poker face. I'll try. What skill is that? Is it
Polish.
polish? Oh, good. And only a -1.
You can
It's
roll
2d6.
well.
It's 2d6, right? -1.
2d6 -1. Everyone in this room knows that you are lying out your ass.
It's really obvious. It's written all over her face. She's like, I'm sure they have a name.
Would this gentleman's name happen to be Ignatius Steele?
How did you know this? I don't think she's clever enough to say no to the second part of the lie. I think she's only got got enough through the first path. That does sound like that could be their name.
Would you like to tell me where you lost Ignatius Steele?
At a plantation that was very much on fire.
A plantation that was very much on fire, Nathaniel.
Yes, Mother?
This sounds like something you might know a bit about.
I set so many plantations on fire.
You set one on fire.
Yes.
So, Ignatius Steele, you knew because you met, well, such charming individuals. Well then.
I didn't really meet Ignatius Steele.
No.
Hmm.
I met him through the fire. There was a building and it was on fire and I walked out of it and he wasn't on fire and I was like, hello. And then I followed him and now I'm a pirate.
Something like that.
You see this moment of this look on her face going, that is not the weirdest backstory for a pirate I've ever heard. I'll go with it. I mean, I've heard weirder shit. There was this one guy who came through convinced that he was, there was a tortoise and he used his own beard hair to create a lasso. So, this is not the weirdest shit she's ever heard. And she'll look at him, look at you both and say, well then, Ignatius Steele had the other portion of the map.
So I've heard. Just very recently. Did not know that before.
Good to know. Nathaniel, the object I require when you go through all of this treasure that you are going to make sure to make some portion of donation to the guild, of course.
As
of your
always.
percentage. That box I require has that same seal on it.
Oh. You're interested in secret societies now, are you, Mother?
Sounds less and less secret.
It's really not. They're not very good about keeping it secret. As for my interests, well, consider this an evaluation, Nathaniel.
Am I on probation, Mother?
No, you're up for a possible promotion. Let's see if you earn it.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. More guild in my purse. All right, Mother.
Now then, go entertain and distract with the peons. I have something to put out of its misery. And have someone sent up cleanup.
I'm sure Javier will be delighted to come clean up.
Javier is already dealing with another issue. That apparently your friend has caused.
Which one?
Probably Isaac.
Apparently, there's a leak from a bathtub. And apparently certain people were attempting to begin an altercation in my establishment
Oh my.
due to this leak from a bathtub. I do not allow altercations in my establishment, Nathaniel.
I know
It's
that.
bad for business.
But if there needs to be an altercation, I'm willing to take it outside. For you, Mother.
You're such a good child. Nathaniel will always be happy for help. Have a pleasant day. Enjoy your stay in Tortuga.
Thank you very much, madam. And she does like an awkward curtsy.
And you hear again that same muffled sound coming from the side room. Josie, you have killed people before?
Yes.
A few times.
Of people.
That definitely sounds like somebody has a tied up and has a gag in their mouth and probably trying to get away.
Oh, I also know this sound of someone with a gag in their mouth.
Yeah, but I'm sure with you, they're not trying to get his way as much. Leaving that one there. But we're going to pan down to Corinne as the night has kind of fallen. You've had your fun, as much fun as you can afford. And the lights have started. There aren't a lot. I mean, it's Tortuga. It's a town of a, Freeport. There isn't, it's also 1688. There isn't a gas lamp. The lights that you can see come from the taverns that are around. You hear music playing coming from those taverns. You should hear music playing those taverns. Cool. And you see, the lights spilling out. There's candles in the window. But you know this path well. You've traveled this path before, outside town, around the fort of Tortuga, into the underbrush that's right outside the walls of the city. Not that it's really a city. It's, for others, it would probably be hard to see, but it's a long, winding path that kind of leads out into the jungle. You've walked it before. As you get halfway through, you hear the music of Tortuga start to fade. Instead, you hear music that you are more familiar with. Sound of drums. And you see torches on the beat. Well, in a cove, slightly hidden. And you see 3 figures standing looking at you. You don't know their names, but then they've never really given you their names, and they've never asked yours. Names have power. And you can do a lot with a name. And these 3 ladies, well, They don't need to give you that. You know who they are. They know who you are. And they just smile at you and beckon you into the circle of Torsionally.
I'll smile back and walk toward them, and just for note that Corinne has kind of gone back to her attire that her shipmates know her. She's kind of gotten out of the nobleman's guise. She'd let her hair out. She took off her shoes.
Good. It's a lot easier to walk across the sand without shoes on. You hear the drums beating, but you can't see where they are. None of these women are holding drums. It's just kind of comes with them. And the oldest looking of the women who spoke to you earlier, with the long, black woman with long, dark dreadlocks, seashells and bones woven in, the faded and ripped burgundy velvet dress, kind of stands in the middle. To her left is a woman who's very obviously mixed, black and Spanish. Her hair is done up in a cloth wrap. There are white tattoos that go along her arms and under her eyes. She's dressed in like this blue, very kind of wrap dress. And the youngest looking of these women, it stands to the right. Mixed race, white, maybe local native population. This kind of indeterminate mix of bloodlines. Paler than the others. Long brown skirts with a short crop top. Long brown and heavily embroidered veil covering her hair. And she kind of is spinning to the motion of the music, even as she's dancing around. She's the only one that's currently dancing. The other two seem relaxed and not stressed, but they're not being more professional, just slightly more restrained at the moment. And the older looking woman with the dreadlocks turns to you and says, "We have a request from our friend."
Always honored to follow those requests, as always. What may it be?
Your captain has an item.
A map of skin. Is that what it was?
Yes. We know how our friend can join us for more gatherings, at least in this realm.
And what must I do? And what does it have to do with the map?
One of the items that's at the end of that map is a token, similar to the one he gave you.
Really?
This token, certain individuals years ago used to bind him. But now we have a map.
And you want me to obtain this token, correct?
Of course. And then, well, we should have a party and invite our friend.
If the item does Well, you say it does. It will be a time for immense celebration, and I would love to bring them. Introduce them to our friend. Of course, he's been guiding them for so long. Of course, they should meet their benefactor.
It's always a pleasure when we agree on such things.
On this matter, of course, I would be honored and will give this my highest priority. What does this item look like? Or will I just know?
Part of you will just know. But part of you, it is silver and red. And small, overlooked, easily ignored.
That is fortunate then. Our arrangement provides us we take what we want. And if I claim it and it's not sparkling or ostentatious, then who would overlook me claiming it?
And you will bring it here, and we will have such a festival.
I will do it, and I will look forward to it. Waiting so long.
Then we have an accord. Will you stay? We're about to have some fun. There was and she drifts off to the left, and you see something kind of like a bundle on the ground. A gift was brought.
It would be a shame to waste it. Of course, I will stay. It's been so long since I was here last. Being with those that appreciate what we do.
And I think on that, we close the curtain on the first adventure for the Black Flag. How we doing?
Good.
Very good.
We all okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shit's gonna get real at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, would Isaac like to speak to something other than the ship? Really? Come on.
Or a bath that he
You already have your toes so into it. Might as well go all the way.
I mean, nothing
That's
bad
what
can
she
come out of
said.
this.
Josephine just feels real bad for getting Nathaniel in trouble. She's like, oh no.
Well,
Didn't
I'm
realize my
perfectly
apparel
relaxed.
could have such consequences.
I'm perfectly relaxed. I'll worry about all of this in the morning.
Fun time, right? It's fun time at the... No,
Yeah.
that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, that's it.
We're
It's
in for
future
tomorrow,
us
pirates.
problem.
Sure, us problem.
We're in Tortuga to take our minds off of things for a minute.
Got a bath. It's great.
Mm.
Clean. I'm really hoping that wasn't the bathtub that was leaking. Because that would also be my fault then too.
You're
Oh.
showing
And
something that doesn't work.
I have this wonderful note about pirate hunters that I was given.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's gonna be a
yes.
shame. It's gonna be a shame when we have to.
A shame.
Yes,
gonna
thank
be
you,
a shame.
T-Boys, for that donation. It did not appear this week. Hopefully, it'll
Oh,
appear
no.
soon.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
for you. Bad thing for us.
Good thing.
But that said, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the hosts. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. Always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Before we leave and before we plug all of our socials, I would just like to thank all of our sponsors here. Mage Hand Press, Found Familiar. You can check them out on their respective websites, store.mageandpress.com or foundfamiliar.com. If you use code WanderingDM, you get a bunch of cool things off your purchases from both websites. Check them out. The links are in chat or in the panels down below. Our other sponsor is, of course, the virtual tabletop Roll20. This is what we're using. The music that you hear right now is through Roll20. All of our dice rolls and everything is done through Roll20. We've been using this virtual tabletop for all of our games here at Wandering DM. So again, thank you to them, and thank you to our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. If you want to get your hands on some very precious dice, fancy dice made out of stone, semi-precious stone, or metal, check out the purple torch down below or the link in chat. That said, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you on the internet. What do you have going on aside from this game? We'll begin with the person right below me on the overlay. So we'll begin with Shauna, and we'll do clockwise from her. So I'll call out your names anyway.
Oh man, this was so much fun. I get 100% my shit being just a creepy magic person, so I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So much fun being a pirate stuff. But yeah, I'm Shauna Flying Cirrus on Twitter, where I have lists of all my games and artwork. Where you'll see me next is I will actually be DMing Last Horizon on Encounter Roleplay, the Coriolis game on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Where they're gonna be facing some. It's gonna be actually kind of a lot of this. Just a lot of like scary space ghosts and nonsense. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you for coming, Shauna. Up next is Alyssa.
Yep, you can find me on all the things as Xander Slamilton. I am just here on Saturdays, here for a good time on the high seas. So thank you guys for playing. This is so much fun. Thank you for running it. Thank you for having me. It's always a great time.
Quentin.
Yeah, I am so excited to see where this goes. There's with session 1, there's so much we can do with this, and I'm so excited to play. I could keep going for X amount of more hours. So I'm very excited to play, and I hope everybody watching and from YouTube and wherever in the future that you enjoyed it too, and we'll catch you all next week.
Thank you to both you and Alyssa for coming. Next, Deirdre.
Oh, hey, y'all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Meophoria, as you see me around on Twitch. And as for me, you'll find me back here on Monday for Legacy, Life Among the Ruins. And then Wednesday, I'm with Lindy over on Tales from the Grim for some Witcher Family of Wraiths and all the fun things that happen there. And then back here Thursday for the finale of season 1 of Dragon Age, #Thirsty Thursdays. And always check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, all the fun things I'm going to do, and the things that will be happening on my channel, because Classics on Twitch will be coming back, but you'll have to wait and see when times things are going to be, because people have real lives that they're getting back into, and we are happy that things are getting back into safely and well adjusted. But yeah, check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, all the fun people I get to do things with, and all the fun things I get to do. So, but I'll be back here next week with all of the fun things that I get to play with. We have a treasure hunt to go on, guys. And it won't lead to any bad things whatsoever.
Uh-huh. And thank you for coming, Deirdre. Lastly is Lindy.
That's me. Hi. This was so much fun. I wasn't expecting Josie to have such crucial information right off the bat. Was any of it helpful? Not really, but she knew things. Dang it. Might prove helpful eventually in the future, but right now it's just more questions than answers. I can't wait to see the answers to some of these questions in future episodes. Very excited. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. let's see. Tomorrow you can, if you like The Witcher, you can check out Salty Sweet Games for our season 1 finale of Witcher, Crimson, and Ash. I'm a sorceress, and it's real intense and real cool. Monday and Tuesdays, I have D&D 5e on my channel. Wednesdays is Witcher. On Encounter Roleplay Tuesday afternoon, right before Shauna's game, I'll be playing Dark Ages Call of Cthulhu. So I'm going to be a peasant bakester in medieval times, and I'm very excited. And then Friday, we have our once a month, twice this month, because we missed last month, Aliens campaign, and that's real fucking spooky. So if you like to get scared, watch that.
Thank you for coming, Lindy. Like I said, I'm Wandering DM. We're going to be back on Monday for Legacy Life Among the Ruins, on Tuesday for more Witcher. We're going to be back on Thursday for the finale of our Dragon Age campaign, and then next Saturday for some more Pirates. We have new shows coming up. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. They will be announced very shortly. Continuation of some existing shows, and some brand new shows starting very, very soon. So on that note, thank you everyone for coming. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.